Welcome back to Educator.com's application essay course. This lesson is on outlining. Let's get started. All right, we're going to begin, as always, with a brief lesson overview. We're going to ask what is an outline, just in case you've never run into this concept before. We're going to look at how to choose your outline style. We're going to look at the formal outline and the informal, or as I call it, the mnemonic outline, which is shorter, kind of a quick and dirty outline style. And then we're going to figure out how to choose which one works for you, because all that really matters is that it works for you. Then we're going to look at how to test your outline. We're going to look at how to test it on yourself and on somebody else to make sure that your plan for your essay holds up. This is an important step before actually writing your application essay. All right, to begin with, what is an outline? Well, an outline is a written plan for your writing. It may be very elaborate or very simple. Think of it like a roadmap, okay? Like a roadmap of your journey. It shows where you start, it shows where you're going to stop and be along the way, and where you're eventually going to end. So your outline tells you all of that, and it keeps you from taking wrong turns and running off the road. Now, in this lesson, we're going to be making a sample essay, or at least we'll be outlining a sample essay using a very, very common prompt, which is in fact taken from the Common Application. The prompt we'll be working from here is, describe a character in fiction, a historical figure, or a creative work, as in art, music, science, etc., that has had an influence on you, and explain that influence. Now, for the purpose of this essay, I'm taking kind of the easy route, and I'm using one of my favorite books, which is Homer's Odyssey. Specifically the translation by Robert Fagles, although you don't really need that part. I'm going to be talking about how one character in this book has influenced me, and I'm going to show you the different ways to outline the essay based on that book. Now, both of these outlines are real outlines that I did as if I were preparing an actual essay, so you'll get an inside look. Now, to begin with, you have to choose your outline style. We're going to start by looking at the formal outline. A formal outline is the sort that you've probably learned about in school. It has lots of numbers and letters and points and subpoints. It's a very detailed map. Now, if I were going to write about the character of Odysseus from the Odyssey, my first paragraph would be my introduction, and I would probably start with a hook or an anecdote, which in this case would be my first encounter with the book. The first time I read it, it was fairly dramatic. I was far away from home. I was in a place where everybody thought that I should be really, really happy because it was full of smart people. I was actually miserable because I didn't get along with them. And I'm sitting there, I have no friends, and I'm reading this book by an old dead Greek guy. And the book starts with Odysseus on this island with this beautiful woman who wants to basically be his lover forever and make him immortal. And he is crying his eyes out, even though everyone thinks he should be happy, because he just wants to go home. I identified with that so strongly, and it makes a good anecdote. So I would start by talking about my first encounter with the Odyssey. Then I would explain who Odysseus is, just in case you've never read the book or you don't know your Greek mythology. I talk about who the guy is and what he did. And then I would get to my thesis statement. Now, the thesis I chose for this essay is, Odysseus taught me to solve problems with my brain. Okay, there's one point. To never give up, and to always remember what's important, the people I love. And I have specific points from the book that support all of these things. So I wrote out my entire thesis statement, which is generally a good idea no matter what kind of outline you're using.